Welcome, Roger Ellory. I'm really glad that we had a chance to do this podcast interview and this little video interview to let people know what they've got to look forward to. So from England, hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So some of the stuff we talked about are your key points on writing, but I'm fascinated with actually how you became a writer in the first place.
Well, it's an interesting story because it came about indirectly as a result of a Stephen King novel that somebody was reading, a complete stranger to me. And we engaged in conversation about this book, and he spoke about it with such passion and such enthusiasm, and it was as if a light went on. And I thought, what a wonderful effect to create. I'd always had the idea that I really wanted to do something creative with my life. I dabbled in music and photography and many different things. But it was in that moment that I thought I would love to do that. And as a result of the conversation with this gentleman, he referred me to the Ron the Writer book that was available at the time, which I read, found a great deal of truth, and really based on two specific things from that book began what has now been a lifetime of writing, professional writing. And based on all the work that I've done in the many years that I've been involved, there's some very fundamental key points that I feel are so relevant to anyone who wants to get published, anyone who wants to write for a living. They're very simple, very specific, and they relate to any genre of writing. They even relate to nonfiction, whatever branch of writing that you want to go into. I feel these key points are so intrinsically valuable based on what I've learned, based on traveling with other writers, based on my own experience for the last 20 years in the publishing industry. And that's something I really wanted to share with people to take away some of the complexity and mystery surrounding this wonderful profession.
And you said there's three of them, or in the interview you said there's three of them.
Well, there's three specific things that I have in mind when I begin a novel, but there's also a particular attitude that I feel is absolutely vital to assume and maintain. No matter what obstacles you run into, no matter what challenges face you as a writer, there's a particular attitude and a particular discipline that I feel is very vital to understand and apply on a personal basis to yourself, the way that you work, the attitude with which you approach this, that I feel is something that people really need to know when they're involved in this business.
Which then that leads me to conclude that it's really important for people to listen to this podcast interview to find out just what that is.
Well, we talked about so many things, and I think all of them contribute in their own way to a concept. It's really a conceptual understanding of how to approach this. And I think that's what we accomplished when we had a discussion on the podcast, is really giving a sort of conclusive overview of how you not only embark upon this particular adventure, but how you navigate the different swells and tides that are attendant to it.
And I think it's also important for people to understand, while you're talking now from a rather lofty altitude as an accomplished and published writer in multiple languages, we also discussed the 600 plus rejects you had at the get-go. So it wasn't just you sprung off the brow of Jove and here you are. We actually discussed also the importance of the hard work that goes into being a writer.
Yeah, and the sheer determination and persistence that one has to maintain in order to succeed in this particular business. And I think it's an attitude that can be applied no matter the genre. And I think it also applies to all elements of the creative arts, including illustrators of the future, people who want to be involved in all aspects of art. It's a discipline that goes along with it. As you say, overnight successes are extraordinarily rare and extraordinarily short-lived. It's the people who approach this with determination and a sense of real persistence that not only accomplish what they want to accomplish, but manage to maintain that sense of achievement by continual production.
Which is great. And I'm very much looking forward to this podcast going live and for people to actually listen and meet you, and also to learn about what they should read to be able to better enjoy the fruits of what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Roger.
Not at all. Pleasure.